Hey, coaches, welcome back. Football Talk with Coach Chip right here on YouTube. Season 2, Episode 17. We're going to be looking at the wide receiver screen. I'm actually going to teach you, or show you, you probably don't need teaching, a particular kind of wide receiver screen. Some people call it a tunnel. Some just call it a fast screen. Some just call it a wide screen. Whatever you call it, it's a good play. But I'm also going to show you how to set up a drill. That's a great drill. Those of you that follow me on Facebook or members of the Football Talk with Coach Chip Facebook page have already seen it. I took screenshots of the PowerPoint, not the PowerPoint, of the My Just Play diagrams, and I put them out there because I was going to release this video yesterday and I had some technical difficulties, which was 100% my fault. So let's take a look at it. Let's get started. Oh, I always do this. Say, let's get started, and something else pops into my head. Don't forget, comment down below. Don't forget, go to Facebook. If you're a member of Facebook, go to and join Football Talk with Coach Chip. You can reach me at siegel.chip@gmail.com. I just sent some PowerPoints and a couple of Word documents out this past week to some of the followers and some of the members of the page. And remember this, if I have it and you don't, it's simply because you haven't asked. Okay? You know, it's an open book. There's nothing proprietary here. Some of the stuff I've been doing so long, I forget who I stole it from. Some of the stuff, the people I stole it from, I've tweaked it so much. I kind of do football like I do cooking. I love to cook. I can take a recipe and I'll tweak it and tweak it and tweak it. And maybe that's me subconsciously kind of owning it. I don't know. But I have tweaked many a thing. And as far as in the kitchen and on the football field goes. And so it just kind of becomes yours. Just remember, once you steal something after so many years, you don't even have to tell anybody who you stole it from, unless you just remember. Or you're just a nice guy, but I'm a jackass. So anyway, no, I'm just joking. This is just a bunch of different ideas that got gathered into one, and trying to take the old jet drill that I use, which of course I evolved that from the old wing T buck drill. And then when I learned this screen, figured out how to make it into a screen drill. All right, so let's get started now. All right, here you see just the diagram. Again, it's kind of like the jet drill, but instead of the two groups facing each other, they are side by side. You got a left side and a right side, and your coaches stand back here. And the way we would do it, we would say, all right, left side go, and the left side would go, and as soon as they go, boom, right side go, okay? And then while the right sides are going, the left side's doing their trading out. Now, the way I drew it up versus cones. This is a great June, July drill when you can't use the shoulder pads, you can't have contact. You can teach the kids landmarks, and it's also a great conditioning drill. You go on the Football Talk with Coach Chip Facebook page. I have a great story about using football-specific, sports-specific drills that are double as conditioning. But if you'll go on there and look, you'll see that great story from an experience I had with the legendary Bobby Knight, the Indiana University longtime basketball coach. And it wasn't like an interpersonal interaction or anything, but I was happened to be somewhere where he was, and a comment that he made that changed my coaching style, and that happened in 1993. All right, so here you see these two guys here on the inside. These two cones are symbolic of the rat, and that'll come up in the rules. These are landmarks. All right, this is the sidewalk from the numbers to the sideline. I call that the sidewalk. I'm not the only one that calls it that. And from the hash to the numbers, from the numbers to the hash, that's the alley, okay? And I say I got it on both sides. Now these cones over here, I'm going to have them color-coded in subsequent slides that are coming up. These cones are symbolic of where these people should block, where the different offensive guys should block. And remember, you go on cones in June and July. By the time you get the pads on in August, you got the drill set up. You just that's embedded in the kids' brains. They know where to go. Say, all right, screen drill, here we go. And you've got everything set up, and you can put people out here, okay, eventually, of course, and you can block human beings. And you can do, if you're deep enough, you can work your JV, your ninth grade team, your varsity, if you're at a smaller school. If you're at a bigger school and you go 3 deep, you can do this. You have number ones right here, okay? Number twos back here, they're just in their position, just waiting to go. And your number threes are over here, okay? And after the play, the ones become the defense. The threes come back over here waiting for their turn. The twos slide up and they go. While they're rotating over here, this side's running their play. So here you got number ones to the right running against the number threes. And then you got your number twos to the right waiting to go. Now what we would do, like with our slot receivers, because they were interchangeable, they went from side to side, this kid would go once on the right and then jog around and come over here and go. And then he would rotate out. That way they're getting work on both sides. Running back, same thing. Okay? All right, let's look at the next slide. I'm not going to pause it. I'm just going to show you how cool this thing is. This is my Just Play. Okay? I've been doing commercials for it. By the way, I'm just doing commercials because I like it, because they're not paying me a dime. And they charged me for this, but it was reasonable. You know, Google it and go on there and look, and it's like a year's subscription or whatever it is, and it's good stuff. All right, now let's look at the second slide. All right, number one over here is going to do the same thing as number one over here. Okay, let's just look at the left side. Now I've laid down the beanies that go on top of the helmets, scout team helmets, or you can use the scout team jerseys, the little pennies, the vest. They slide over their pads when you're doing scrimmage, because you don't want anything the kid can step on and roll an ankle on this. All right, so let's first start with number one is the receiver over here, the widest receiver. He's going to take 2, 3, 4 steps. And again, that's up to you and the kid. You figure out how far up he needs to go so he can get back here on time. You may have one kid, that's real quick, and he can go up 4 steps and get back. You may have another kid that's a big, tall kid, like we had one a few years ago. He was really fast, but he wasn't exceptionally quick because he just so long, and tall. And he might just take 2 big steps up and come back in here and catch it. Okay? I've always thought, like, when you just lay it down, so you're going to take 4 steps. That's not necessarily, one size doesn't fit all. This is not a visor, that you buy at a sporting goods store or a ball cap that says one size fits all. By the way, they don't do that anymore. It's one size fits most. Somebody introduced them to my head the size of a number 10 wash tub. But so you lay these things out here, and he'll go up to that marker, that landmark, come back between these two. I call this the gate. This is the gate. Okay? He's going to catch the football, and he's going to find the wave. On the jet sweep we had with the hump, we got a wave here created by these blocks, these out blocks. We'll go over the linemen in a minute. This is just the outside guys, the perimeter guys. All right. He's going to find that wave and get vertical as soon as he can in the alley right here. Okay? Now, number 2 is going to push off, and he wants to push off as if he's running a deep route, like he's going to run a corner and then break it off. But what he's going to do, he's going to come right here and then break out. Now, what he should do, he should bend it. I got it right here with him doing like a 90-degree or close to 90-degree turn, right? No, because he's got to gear down and slow down to do that, and that kind of give away that he's going out and give away the screen. So what I just tell him to do is just bust off 4 or 5 yards. Remember, he's in the backfield, so up in here is about 5 yards. And bend, slowing down just a little bit out, and he is going to kick number 1. Now, stress this. Do not go for kill shots. I repeat, stress this to your skill kids on the outside and to your linemen. Don't go for kill shots. Teach them how to gear down. Have them come out here and gear down on these cones in June and July, and boom, so they can fit up on them. I'd heap rather them to be 90, 95% on just making a good block than 50% on a kill shot and them hitting this guy, and you're only going to do it one time. The kid's just totally unsuspecting. The next time you do it, if you get away with a kill shot, knock him into the bleachers over here, then I don't know what to say about this kid right here. Then he's just going to keep getting kicked out like that. So, I mean, getting just annihilated, blown up. So teach them to break down on that cone, come to balance, just like you would on open field tackle, okay, and fit up on that cone. And then when you graduate to bodies, that boom, punch it, then get physical. Once you make contact, then get physical and drive his butt, to the sideline, okay? So we call it a kick out, and sometimes when you say kick out, you think like, oh yeah, we're going to blow him up. Not necessarily. You may get away with it every now and then, but I'd heap rather him be close to 100%, with his success rate than 50%, and those 50% being just blow-ups. They look great on the huddle highlight and may get somebody's attention, but then they look and say, well, God, he whiffed on the other half of them. So that's what these cones are here for. All right, these are like little pennies or little beanies, something the kids, if they step on them, it's not a big deal. All right, so, and this is happening on both sides of the field. All right, the running back on the snap is going to cross face, okay, and get a little half-butted flash fake from the quarterback. And then I want him fitting up right here, and he won't necessarily do that on the screen all the time, but it's just good work. If you're at a school with just 3 or 4 coaches and you want to work or a program with 3 or 4 coaches, get them all together and you can get all these positions going at the same time. And he's working on blocking the backside edge, okay, afterwards. So the guy responsible for the running back standing right here, he says, oh, you got to fit up right in here, blah, 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 blah. Make this block, and then he turns his attention over here to this running back. Quarterback's going to take the snap, of course, flash fake, and what I taught him to do was take a step back off the fake in the angle, in a direction to the side the screen's going to. Okay, it gets him going in that direction, setting his feet and his hips, and throwing a strike to the gate in between these two markers right here. All right, now what you do, you tell him, you teach him. And we actually did drills with the quarterback without the receivers or anything, where I put a cone out here. We have our whole bag of balls, and where they just throw it. And I have a big tall cone, the kind you see on if you're in the South, when you go to Atlanta, the logo of Atlanta, a traffic cone, the tall one's like 3 or 4 feet, and I would tell them throw it just over the top of that cone, about a 3 or 4 foot cone, those high cones. Okay, the kind some people use for tees, for T-ball, or some people use for tees for a quarterback taking snaps. You set the ball up there on that cone so big, and you throw that strike, and you tell him, make the fake, take your step, and throw it, whether anybody's there or not. That's how you figure out what the step should be for your number ones. Okay, you can say, hey, Bobby, you take 2 steps. Hey, Ty, you take 4 steps. Okay, and get back inside the gate. And when you catch it, get upfield, find the wave, and you'll see it when I have everybody out here, the wave. And then get vertical in the alley. And see, it's the same thing on both sides. Okay, so the quarterback fakes to the running back, takes 1 step in the direction at an angle that the screen is going to, and fires the pass. It says number 1, but he's really just firing it to the middle of that gate that I've set up with those 2 markers. And you tell him to throw it whether anybody's there or not. And that way you find out real quick about your timing and what you need to do over here. And again, get away from that telling every kid take 4 steps. Okay, unless you've got a bunch of clones that are all alike, they may need one, but they need to sell up field to make the corner. Let's say this blue's the corner. You want to make him back up. Okay? You want to make him back up. All right, let's look at the next one. All right, look how this works. I'm going to go save and exit. You could just went exit because I didn't do anything different. It's not, and it's going to be as fast as your Wi-Fi or your internet connection is. All right, let's go to the 3rd slide. And this one here, I'm going to include the linemen. Okay, and I got them color-coded in this one as well. All right, let's go ahead and look right here. Now you're going to see the wave coming into view. The left tackle, the tackle, the guard, and the center. Tackle, guard, and center. They're all doing the same thing. Tackle's, going to take a 1 step pass set. Just snap up. Over-exaggerate your head and shoulders. All three of them should over-exaggerate their pass set with a big, pronounced, snapping those shoulders back, snapping that head up and back, really wanting to. And you're not really selling it on the D lineman as much as you're selling it on the linebackers and the safety. Make them think you want them backing up. You want that guy bailing, setting up blocks for you. So one-step pass set, punch, throw, and go. That's what I teach them. If nobody's there, punch on air, throw on air, go on air. Now, what I tell them, talking about the lineman, is if there's a guy on you, you want to punch and grab him inside of his chest plate. Okay, on the chest plate, breastplate of his shoulder pads. And that's the throw, you throw him in. So if on the left side, you're going to throw him to the right. If you're on the right side, you're going to throw him to the left. And then the guard and the center have to be obliged to that. And that's why you do the drill over and over again. They're looking for that so they can get out of the way of it. Or if they run into him, force that guy off their backside. But you want to punch, okay? You want to pass set, punch, throw, and go. Don't let them get in too big a hurry. So, well, I'm uncovered. I'm just going to take off. So they're in an odd front. Then your guard's going to run all over your tackle. Tell him he's got a punt. He's got a pass set. Over-exaggerate it. Kids, and they ain't changed anything. We were too cool for school. I don't want to look goofy. Make them look goofy. Over-exaggerate it. Pass set on air. Punch the air. Throw the air. And then go. And all three of them are going to go 5 steps flat. 5 steps flat. Don't go upfield. You're going to have a really smart kid that's going to come right here. Okay? Or, boom. Well, I learned in geometry the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. That's not what we want. We want you going flat so the timing is there for your block. Okay? And so have your line coach standing out here. I used to stand right here. And I would say it with them. And I'd make them say it, make the linemen. Pass set, punch, throw, go. And then make them get out there to me. And then sometimes I would put the little markers out here. Here's your 5, here's your 5, here's your 5. Turn up. All right, so the tackle is going to do is pass set, punch, throw, and go. Go 5 steps flat. And then get up just on the outside of the alley, looking into the sidewalk. And he's going to kick out the first ugly he sees. It's what I call any defender, because he's wearing a different color jersey, so that's an ugly color that week. First ugly he sees, kick him out again, stressing, don't go for the kill shot. It'll happen. It'll happen from time to time. But kill shots are like home runs. They're accidents. All right, the guard, pass set, punch, throw, go, flat for 5 steps. And you can play with that. That's up to you and your lineman. And then get up the field in the alley, looking to block the first thing that shows in the alley. Now, we're not culling anything. I tell them guys, I said, that old song, that old country song, the girls all get prettier at closing time. Hey, it's closing time when you're out here blocking on the screen and you ain't culling nothing. Whatever shows up, it's the prettiest girl in the room, take her. Okay? Boom, pass set, punch, throw, go, get out in the alley, go 5 steps flat, turn up. Now it looks like it's the safety here. Could be the linebacker that got out in her, he was smart. It could be an outside linebacker who didn't drop into his flat or drop straight back and came back. That's fine. Because sometimes you'll run it without a number 2. He's gone. Okay? And so you wind up with him getting on the corner, the tackle on the corner, and then the guard winds up on the outside backer. Okay? So that happens. All right, in the center, same thing. Pass set, punch, throw, go. 5 steps. Turn up in the alley. Eyes inside, like a rapper on a buck sweep. Or a rapper on a power. Or a rapper on a counter. Something they already know about. Tell them it's like they're the rapper. And they're rapping outside in the alley. Eyes inside, looking for the rat. The rat's anything sneaking out of the middle. Now, if something is in the alley, because remember, the guard should get here first, because he's closest. So if the guard didn't get him, then tell the center he's got to get him. But, on the way there, they're not passing anything up. They don't want to block linemen in here. They want to get out of their way, make them run around them and all that good stuff. All right, so there it is with all of the linemen involved. Okay? There's your notes right there. You want to take a screenshot. And you'll notice I got them color-coded. They'll stay that way. The tackles are green, the guards are gold, and the center is white. Same thing over here. And they're going to their cone is their color. Okay? There's your screenshot. All right, let's go to the next one. Running out of time. Not really. I just don't want to keep y'all. I'm sure y'all are busy and got things to do. Okay? I love this toy. Can y'all tell? It's awesome. All right, here it is with everybody involved. You see the wave? The wave created by the two kickouts. You got the tackle kicking out. You got number 2 kicking out. The blue number 2. The green tackle kicking out. That's your wave. Okay, number 1, getting upfield, coming back, retracing his steps, kinda. Running through the gate. Then getting upfield, finding the wave. Okay, reading that block. You could wind up going out here. I don't recommend going in there because we're not blocking a lot in there. But it's hard to tell these kids, let an athlete be an athlete. It's what you got to do sometimes. All right, and notice the back still doing what he does, quarterback still doing what he does. This is good stuff. Okay? It's very important that that center learns to look inside. We were in week 15, state championship game, and our center still wasn't looking inside. We had several big screens. Screen was good to us in state championship game in 2019. And and I was the line coach, and that was my fault. But he was hustling, busting his butt, getting downfield. It was almost like he was taking pride. Look, I'm out in front. You got to stress that. You got to look inside. This guy will kill you coming out here. He will turn a 7-8 yard gain, which is good, but he'll turn a 7-8 yard gain, the center will, into a touchdown if he'll block this guy right here. A lot of DCs, the way they defend the screen is with pursuit. Okay? Pursuit's the way, because usually a lot of teams run screen on 3rd and long. So if it's 3rd and 10 and you get 8 yards, that played right into the defensive coordinator's hands. He let you have the 7 or 8. His pursuit took care of the screen because your guy didn't look inside and get the rat. Okay? All right, now if you don't want to run it this way, that's fine. So I got a good friend that loves to run it with his 2 guards and his center. And he lets the tackles high wall. And I did one slide of that right here. And this will be the last one. Okay? Show here. I've changed that 3 times and it didn't save. I guess I'm not doing something right. Let's see. See, it pops up here. Shown here. Okay, let me click save. So I'm just kind of showing how it works. All right, shown here using the 2 guards in the center. You do it the same way. He said, what do you do with your tackles? Put their butt over here and have them rush. Quarterback needs some hands to throw over. Okay? Put them over here and make them rush. Now, remember what you do on that. You'll high wall and run this cat up the field with your tackles. And then the quarterback has to get used to that. You may want to put tackle in there and a D in and tell them to high wall that joker. Guy goes inside, wash him. Guy goes outside, run him up the field, let that quarterback get used to playing. Again, it's a great team drill. It's a great conditioning drill for June and July because you're getting so many kids involved, and it's just a great drill. And it's football specific. And they're getting their conditioning in and don't even realize it because they're playing the game. And you just do this for like 5 or 10 minutes at the end, and you're getting everybody involved. And when you start putting bodies out there, and you can put bodies out there now in June and July, and just tell the kids to use their hands on their blocks. So you got kids over here if you got the numbers. If you don't have the numbers, you're at a small school with 20, 30 players, and you don't have the numbers, use cones. Okay? And if you can go too deep, it's a great way to get those guys that never get many reps, get reps, let them rotate with the ones. And if you're like me, you tell those ones, you're at a small school, dude, you ain't no kicking and chilling. Okay, if you're not involved, you got to get over here and play scout team. All right, that's it. That's 22 minutes in. Don't forget to comment down below. This has been season 2, episode 17 of Football Talk with Coach Chip. Please go down below and like it. If you haven't already, subscribe to it. Click the bell. Click the bell. That way it alerts you anytime I post something new. And also share it. Okay, just click on the share, copy the link, and post it onto your Facebook, your Twitter, and send an email to your friends, to your coaching buddies, or just your football nerds like me. And if you have any questions, it's seagle.chip@gmail.com. That's SEAGLE.chip@gmail.com. I'm at Chip Siegel on Twitter. Okay? And don't forget our Facebook page, which is really rocking and rolling. I approved a lot of people this week, and I don't disapprove anybody, I reckon. There's been a couple I have because it looked to me like they were salespeople, and they had no coaching relations at all, and they were like at least they didn't lie about it. And I said, no, I don't want that. It's kind of like spam on my Facebook page, and I didn't want that. So let's do that, okay? So until next time, be elite.